how's everyone doing? I guess I'm cutting my own head off, but you know, whatever. So my buddy Jimmy had given me this survival stove from Vital Stove, which that's what it looks like. How much was the weight on this? Did it know the weight? I should have thrown it on the scale. I'll throw it on the screen when I get home, or I'll just try to look it up. So, I've never used this before, or any kind of a stove like it. So, I'm right outside of the road. There's a whole brigade of cars coming. A whole lot of cars too. So it looks like this. Let's set it up. Now it has a little battery pack which takes, alright, so it takes 2 AA batteries. Here's the stove. They give you a little tender pack to go with it, which I might use in another video. And looks like you just open it up like this. And all these little legs here look like they go, I think they go right here. So there's a little notch back here where is this part right here. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. There's that little notch I was talking about. See how it has a piece right here? It just sets right on there. So I guess it's a nice close-up of it. Okay, so here's a little battery pack. Now that screw is pretty small. Now I brought I set my multi-tool away to get a sheath made. So I have my S2 juice. But I'll tell you right now, if this was your everyday carry, you couldn't get that screw off with this. See? Come on, camera. It's too small. The screw is too small. So, I'll show you what I had to do. Okay, so as far as EDC goes, I wouldn't be able to get this screw off with my current carry system. So what I did is I grabbed a small screwdriver out of my home kit. I had this little Harbor Freight toolkit. And then out here, it would be really easy to lose this thing. Fortunately, I got my little aluminum container from Survival Resources. Go. Back. could get just a tip and just pop it in that container I just showed you. You could probably just use your multi-tool, hook it on, you know, clamp it on the end, and then get the screw off if you had to go that route. But, you know, honestly, the stove's kind of heavy. I probably wouldn't carry it in a backpack. I mean, if I did, I wouldn't bring it out very far. So, that's that. Okay, so, fortunately, all my batteries would take AA. So, for that, we're money. If I can pop the thing out. There it is. No. Now my digital camera takes AA. I would say my EDC flashlight, but I can't currently find it. I don't know what happened to it. So normally I would pull I was planning on pulling the flashlight right out of my pocket and just using those batteries. But now I can't. Let's see. Come on. Come on, you little bugger. Don't seem to want to go in there straight, do they? Can't get the cover on. Well, maybe we just do it without the cover. Okay, let's get the sucker lit. I went and just gathered a whole bunch of sticks. I mean, immediately I'm seeing how small. I'm gonna have to break this fuel down. See, immediately what I'm thinking is, you know, it's tagged as a survival stove. Okay, fine, but, you know, if I'm in a situation where I need a fire now, you know, why would I mess around with all these, why would I mess around with a stove when I could just get a fire going on, you know, I can just get a fire going. I've got plenty of fuel. I mean, this whole bucket here would get me a nice fire going really easy. So, just food for thought. So light this puppy up. It's good old cotton balls and Vaseline. This is my method for carrying Vaseline because it makes a lot less mess. I just take the cotton ball, dip it in there, and I just threw it in an old pill bottle. Boom, less mess. Less mess and no lid. seems to be burning pretty nicely. What I want to do now is just build up coals so I can start cooking. I'll bring it back when I get some coals going. Okay, so note to self, not so much fuel. Alright, so while my fire's getting up there, I'm planning on making mashed potatoes, and I'm gonna add in some bacon jerky. Okay. Another good use for tongs. I haven't opened this jerky yet. I haven't tried this either. My buddy Jimmy gave it to me. Thanks, Jimmy. Oh man, that's really good. It's actually past its expiration date, but it shouldn't matter since it's, you know, delicious bacon. What I'm going to do here, I just want to crisp it up a little bit. Dang on. Really good. Wow. I seem to be famous for dropping bacon. I don't really need to cook the bacon, I just want to kind of crisp it up a little bit. going on with this thing? You see what I just did there? I totally just spilled water all over my bacon that I just got done crisping up. And then I dropped it again. Wow. Don't worry, we're gonna pick all that up and salvage it. Holy crap, what is going on today? Some of you guys over there, some of you guys out there laughing. Burned down quick. Let's see, I dropped my water, I dropped my bacon again. I didn't waste any of it though, I picked it all up. So. I'll bring it back when I get a boil. Alright, let's check that water. Boiling. I don't want to put too much in. I actually brought out some butter, which I had just cut into cubes, and I rolled it in salt and pepper, but I left them in the refrigerator, which was smart. Alright, here's my dropped bacon. Dropping bacon is not something I want to be famous for. While I had the camera off, I was sitting here and I was waiting for the water to boil, and the wind just gusted real bad and just blew all the foil over and sent all the bacon flying, which I went and picked it all up. Where's bacon mash? I do have something in the car I can throw in here though. Alright, so I got this idea from my buddy Londian. Just carry some black pepper and some sea salt in your vehicle. No salt. I had a bunch of pizza yesterday, so I'm just going to go with the pepper. Now if you notice something about the stove, fuel kept falling out. There's mash with bacon. There we go. Bacon and mashed potatoes. Caution. Mashed potatoes hold sort of a lava-like quality with the heat. Alright. I'll eat this and get back to you. Alrighty. So, what do I think of the survival stove? You know, honestly, at first, my very first impression of it was sort of eh. Like, okay, survival stove, rock on. Appreciated gift. Don't get me wrong. Very much appreciated. Thank you, Jim. Awesome. And I will say, the more after having used it now, it's kind of won me over. I actually kind of dig it. I'm not really a big stove guy, but you know, I'd rather have a campfire, but only because I'm a real firebug and I like making fire. But man, just a cotton ball and Vaseline and some sticks. So pros, it did work. It worked well. It never went out. I had the airflow going through. The cap not staying on was kind of a bummer, but it didn't affect the stove's use at all. It's not loud, which I thought, you know, I thought it was going to be loud because of the fan, but it wasn't loud at all. So, yeah, that's kind of money. One downside is all the... I'll have to get up and show you. Okay, so the box here is all the directions for use of the stove are on the back of the box. So if you don't know what you're doing for the first time, you'll have to bring the whole box with you, which kind of sucks, but the directions seem pretty simple. I looked at them once and pretty much just wung it. Wung it? Is that even a word? Well, whatever. But tripod. You know, the stove actually unsold. I like it. Now I don't know if I'd pack it out, but I mean the cover was kind of a bummer but it didn't affect how it was used. The directions say to keep the fan going as long as there are coals, or I think it said flame. Well, I'll have to read it later, but just, you know, just straight using it worked well. You know, I used a little bit more stick than I thought, but you know, the size of the stick, kind of a pain. I mean, at some point you saw that the sticks were hanging out. As long as you're careful. I mean, I noticed that the canteen was sort of holding some in, and when I lifted the canteen, they fell out. So that was kind of a bummer, but not that huge deal. I just picked them up, put them back in. Fortunately, this side had this rock here, so I was able to cook on it. Yeah, so I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. I kind of like it. I'll probably use it again. I don't know if I'll pack it in anywhere, but now I could probably just take off that top part and just use it as a stove without the base or the fan. I could probably do that, which is not a bad idea because you saw how it folded. It would probably fold down pretty compact, almost like a smaller bush box. I might actually try that now. That's an interesting idea. Was anyway. Well, let me alrighty. So real quick, one thing I totally failed to notice was this part here. Probably would have allowed more air to flow through had I noticed it. Not that I really needed it. Also, You know, as you see, it packed down pretty nice. Held up pretty well. One thing I failed to notice myself is that these will come up and down. So when I was cooking with it, one of these was up a little bit too high and I didn't pick up on it. So good to know for next time. But you know, just slides back down in here. Get in there. And I took the batteries out. I still have the screw on my carabiner rig, which I'm just going to leave it in there. As you saw, it worked fine without it. Oh, come on. Go ahead. Man, Mr. Wind is being a drag today. There we go. Survival stove. Alrighty, so that's the stove. I hope you enjoyed the video. Big thanks to my buddy Jimmy for the stove for my birthday. Appreciate it, brother. I like it. I don't know if you want to buy one, great. If not, it's up to you. I liked it. I liked it a little bit more than I thought I was going to be honest. So, as always, thanks for watching. I got the fire making playlist in the description below if you want to check it out. We appreciate it. Appreciate your like, appreciate your view. I'll catch you on the next one.